Port Property Management Maine Shootout Championship match here live on Xtra Frame. Dick Allen, John Furey, Craig Elliott here at Bayside Bowl, along with PBA Hall of Famer Chris Barnes and PBA champion Stu Williams for this championship match. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Craig.
Hey, we're back.
So, obvious question, Chris, John Furey's first chance at a national title. I'm guessing you remember yours. What's going through his mind right now?
It's probably moving fast enough. It's hard to slow down on any particular one thing, I would think.
You can remember that long ago? It's
Easy.
a while since you won your first one.
Do you have one yet?
Yeah, just one.
Is that a regional? I mean,
No, it was on ESPN.
okay. Weber Cup doesn't count. You know that, right?
Yeah. No. So a quick, I went down and I did a little bit of
Recon.
research. Yeah, recon. John Furey is using the Deviate Pitbull Bite, and Dick Allen has been using the Jackal Rising. However, I think for all the motive fans out there, he's changed to the purple and black
Venom
one.
Shock, I believe.
No, I think the Venom Shock is the bright purple one.
Okay.
This is I think this is another Jackal anyway.
All right.
But anyway, it's the purple and black Jackal. But I think that the plan is that he's going to get into the Jackal Rising. That's what his ball rep Brett Cooper told me. What Dick uses the first game is kind of whatever. He's kind of really setting the lane up for the second game. And if he's won the first game, that's cool. But his comfort zone is.
He's trying to get John to move off the spot.
Yeah. So he used quite a lot of surface, right, really close to where John was playing, but trying not to get it too far to the right, so that he didn't take away that miss that John just had.
Basically, that Belmo using urethane allowed him to get away with or play outside of if he wanted to use the urethane as hold. Yeah, he's already playing deeper for those of you who watched the semifinal match than he is already now to start with here. So
Wow.
I would consider Richie's strategy already working because he's moving him off his spot and made him go through a different transition than what he's seen the last match or two.
Yeah, but at the same time, Dick wasn't very close to throw the strike on the first shot. So
No.
we will see. Now he's gone back.
That's
the ball that he told me the name of, but I've forgotten because he told me he wasn't going to use that one. That's the Revolt something.
okay. That's the one he threw a lot the last match.
At the first game, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his. We'll call that his setup ball. That's his eighth innings guy.
Got the 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning.
Yeah. So
Field Royals play.
So the 7th innings was the burn ball, the 360 ball. This is an 8th innings guy, and he's good to go. I'll start with the baseball analogies now.
So, Stu, difference in this match, they're back on the fresh, but this pair sat there for a couple hours. Is that going to affect transition?
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily affects transition, but I think it affects how they play to start with. I think in general, when the lanes sit like this, the oil tends to, for want of a better description, trickle a little bit down the lane. For me, they always play a little bit tighter, but that's how I see it. And it kind of doesn't really
Chris,
matter.
you're shaking your head a little bit.
Yeah, some of both. I same result, a different way. Like it collects dust and you end up with a little more friction in the front, which makes the back play tighter. It's semantics. It just plays flatter front to back, I think, when they sit for a while. Depends on where you like to see your ball roll. That's a much better effort there. Both players struggling a little bit in the left lane to get it to hook enough. So
yeah, it seems like in general on this pair, I think that the left lane seems to cause people more trouble with it being a little bit behind the headpin. So far, they haven't really had it more behind the headpin. They're just seen it longer. So I know that when Dom bowled against Josh Blanchard on this pair, he had a little bit of trouble with the ring 10 on that lane, and then he changed his hand a little bit to make it just, dig in a little harder and come off it.
Come on, John. Get up.
you see it get to almost the same spot it does on the right lane, and it just kind of shoves backwards where it just loses traction.
And this, for John Furey, is the nightmare scenario that you've been comfortable doing something the whole time, and now you're in the title match, and it doesn't work. because he hasn't really done that many different things to get here, and now suddenly he's presented with a problem that he hasn't really had so far, and that's the worst thing you can have in this situation where you're just trying to get comfortable and you're immediately made uncomfortable straight away.
I have a feeling that wasn't supposed to hit the pocket necessarily either, which it basically did.
Yeah.
Opportunity for sure for fellow splitter.
Yeah. Yeah, you got your guy back. And right now, Richie looks like he is off to the races, so to speak.
You said this left lane will be the key. If he can bridge a couple more on this left lane here early, it almost does two things though. If he gets out too big a lead, John Furey will be free to make some free guesses because it's going to have no impact on the outcome.
Yeah, I almost feel like if Dick strikes here, John's in that position. Because it feels like Richie isn't going to miss on the right lane, and then he's got almost a 5-bagger on the board, and suddenly it's starting to get away from you. But a split here from Dick, and anything's possible. But no. Yeah, I mean, the problem that I think he has is he's going through that trough that Dick's created. Now, from my point of view, if I was in his position, I would probably try and parallel left away from it to try and use the trough as the furthest right. But depending on what your skill set is and what you feel more comfortable with, John may actually move further right and use the oilless hold.
Where he shot the spare at, and
yeah,
maybe try and get that to use that as hold.
Yeah. It's kind of like what I was saying to them in the booth before. Like, it's very easy to say, you know, I would do this, but everybody has a different way of solving the same issue.
John threw a lot of plastic in practice too, and more than a couple of them missed the headpin right on that left lane.
Yeah, so maybe
I don't know if that contributed to the issue or not.
No.
Why was he doing that?
Because I think he was trying to create a hole for himself. But if you don't hit the headpin, you're creating hang.
Yeah.
So plastic is a very dangerous ball to throw because you think you can just go up and throw it.
He did exactly the move you were talking about. Yeah. He went left and left and then slowed his speed down enough to get it to roll through there, and that got him away from the trouble spot.
Yeah.
No, he's forced to throw slower. He doesn't have the rev rate, but what kind of trouble can that get him in later in the match?
The pattern could be flatter as you move left. Certainly on the other side, it got flatter in that zone because there's so much more friction in the front. Less so on this side, I thought.
I think the only thing that might do with moving to there is if he continues to bowl there, he may present some troubles for Dick. When Dick wants to move a little left, he's going to move into John, and then Dick's going to have to make a bigger move left. Now, I think that Dick is pretty smart with those moves, so I don't think it's getting caught with that would be kind of a rookie move.
Yeah.
And I think that Dick is much more switched on than to get caught with that. If he experienced that issue, he'd probably move left and go to his stronger ball and just curve round it more, I would guess.
I think he has a scenario in place already, plus he gets the ball up in the air through the front typically, which eliminates some of that issue.
So when he has to make a move, it's not going to be a 2-on-1, it's going to be an air hold.
I would say 5 or 7.
Yeah. And he's just probably going to
keep his ball.
He's probably going to keep his break point in almost the same spot and just curve round it more.
He touched that one pretty good there. He finally got that one to face up.
Yeah, I mean, for Furey now, he's got to be thinking, get comfortable doing what I'm doing, make sure I keep my look on the right lane, because, of course, with him being further left, he's probably going to experience less transition on the left lane, whereas the right lane, he's got to make a decision in these two shots whether he wants to follow it in, which it looks like he has done a little bit.
It's really not all the way over here because he can still strike out 248. If Richie, for some reason, would miss on this right lane, he's on that pace, and this game would get really interesting in a hurry.
Yeah. No.
But this is the shot here. If he doesn't strike here, the problem for John is now Richie can go ahead and look. He gets a free. He's going to get a free swing at trying something different to see what that next move would be.
That's not coming back.
Wow.
that, for John Furey fans watching out there, was a really good sign. Because that one, he's slowed down his speed, and I think he's got his hand a little bit more around it now than he was doing. And he got that one to a spot that was washing out before.
That was pretty much the same as the washout in the second frame.
It came back plenty enough.
Yeah,
so
that is we're not done yet.
No, 100%.
Maybe this game we're done, but
John Furey's looking at Dick going, can we not just be friends? Seriously? He says friends don't shoot 11-bagger at friends. Dick says, okay, I'll just make it a 10-bagger.
Yeah. I'll try something new here pretty soon.
Yeah.
What that does do is it doesn't let Richie do anything different on this lane. He's going to have to go ahead. This shot does lock up the game. But if he opened here, he would have to go back to the lane and probably double at worst.
Mm-hmm. I think that Richie is. Oh, wow!
He did move left and throw it slower there, though.
I think he's very, very comfortable with what these 2 or 3 balls are doing. So I don't think that, like the rest of us, maybe want to try the other ball. I think he knows exactly what his move's going to be. He'll almost blind ball change straight into it. He doesn't need I wonder what it's going to do test shot. Yeah. He's kind of like, it's bang, bang, bang. These are the 3 balls in a row. This is what I've been doing. I'm good.
And he is very good at that. You remember the year we won here, and he was the MVP. He made blind ball changes at least once, I think maybe twice in the 10th frames to strike out in some matches. Yeah. And
I think out of all of the guys I watch bowl, I think him and Dom have by far the most confidence in their, like, where they see the balls fit in their bag. Like, they're like, it's this one and then it's this one. And if I have this issue, this is the ball I need. Like, I think that's it's a very valuable skill to have, to be that confident in what you're doing that you just can just change like that. I mean, me, I'm more of I'll just throw it a little slower, or I'll just roll it a little bit more. And I think on the higher scoring patterns, I think that's to my detriment, because I think that it's harder to trick it when you need to strike 8 or 10 times a game.
Or when the lane pattern's kind of molding balls together a little bit.
Yeah. When it's a little harder, like it was last week, I think that it's a big advantage for me not changing ball, because you kind of can keep the balls around, and 9s aren't really a bad thing at all.
Right.
So
when they're hard, you don't make so many ball changes. It's all about feel and touch. And
yeah.
Come on, John. All right.
I felt like that one was further down the lane when it got to that spot.
It
wasn't
was
as early.
Yeah, I actually didn't get it as far right, and it kind of missed that little spot.
It looked like he didn't catch it as good. On the last match, his left lane, he could get it way further right, and it really looked like he caught it, like really got around his hand. That one, it looked like he was just a little bit more end over end, and it definitely rolled like he was a bit more end over end.
On the plus side here,
he gets to try another ball on the fill. Although
the downside was that had he struck out, he would have made Richie mark.
Yeah.
I'm not. He's Richie. I've known him for too long.
I don't think that John. Yeah, I didn't think that John was going to change ball. I think he might try a different one of the same ball, type of deal.
Well, in the earlier match, he didn't try a different ball when we thought maybe he should have.
Yeah, he's actually trying a different ball. I think this is another pit bull though, just a different one in the range. I apologize to all the pro shop guys out there when I'm. It's not sure.
Well, in your defense, there'll be another dozen new balls in the next week or so.
Well,
so
yeah.
You got to learn them all again.
From each brand.
Yeah. Well, I struggle to remember the names of the ones that I'm paid to throw, so it makes it a little difficult to remember the ones that everybody else is paid to throw as well. But that looks like the right ball for Dick, especially on that right lane.
Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and look here, I think. Nope.
So to anybody at home who's upset with me for not knowing the name of this one, I specifically asked his ball rep, that's the Revolt whatever, and he said, oh, you don't need to worry about that one. He only threw that the one game last time. I doubt he's going to throw that one.
Brett Spangler might have known that answer.
No, I asked Brett, and Brett told me I didn't need to worry about the answer because he wasn't going to throw that one.
It's the Purple Revolt.
Yeah.
There we go.
with that. It was just funny. What's that one called, Brett? Nah, you don't need to worry about that. He's not going to throw that one. Assy shoots 270 the first game throwing it.
Doesn't everyone know that we wouldn't be any good at all unless we had ball reps to help us?
Oh, yeah.
Showing us where to stand and throwing what right ball?
That's what I've been told.
I hear it all the time.
So you were you have a bit of a basketball background. So we were just wondering, do you think it was harder to do the NCAA bracket or the bracket here?
As much of a mess as that was, this bracket was completely.
You just didn't see that coming.
Well, that and you don't actually see players here. You had like 1 versus 4 in the first round in a couple of.
Yeah, and then you had a match that, like, I don't think anybody, including the people involved, thought was going to go the what direction it did when Norm Duke and Cody Schumacher played together on Fresh.
Yeah.
And on the side that, to a large extent, has been better to go kind of straighter.
Yeah.
And
the wrong pair, though.
And Duke.
Yeah.
But then the next morning, Walter Ray shoots 537 on the same pair, so there's almost no logic to any of it. So John's gone with the ball change. This one looked like he was a little stronger off the spot on the one shot he threw it, so hopefully for him it continues that way. Oh, that's a lot stronger off the spot.
Yeah, I would be going purple and green. I'd throw one on each lane if I was him.
Yeah, but I think he might even need to move a little bit further left off that hit.
Oh, definitely. That's
that
again,
really picked up.
For the Fist of Fury fans, that's going to be a good sign there. Too much hook is much better than the 2-pin.
Yeah. Dick's with some running repairs here. He's painting the skin. So you worried, Captain Barnes, going into the, it's only a couple of days till he needs to be the anchorman for your team.
Like 4 days ago, he couldn't walk, and now he's winning this tournament.
I know,
Well, at least in position too.
I think we need to make sure we have reserves down here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Oh, I'm one game away from winning the title.
Yeah. Probably going to go ahead and finish.
Yeah, sure.
If it all really goes south, I guess we still have Jesper to throw balls in the 10th frame.
Yeah, he's from experience. Bowling team with Jesper works out quite well.
Well, the first shot after the new patch job can sometimes be interesting.
So Jeff Goodger has gone out of his way to communicate with Phil, and Phil has found out that it's the Revolt Havoc, a.k.a. the purple one.
That was Brett Spangler.
Oh, Spangler.
Not Phil Briley.
Oh, I thought Phil came over.
Most people confuse those two.
I didn't see who gave you the note.
Said no one ever.
All right, Brett. So
you call him Brett Cooper too, so
Brett Cooper,
you pretty much got him from all sides so far.
The beard is one.
Yes.
Brett
and
Spangler.
he's shaved, so no beard anywhere either.
Just spot on everywhere.
It's been a long day, Chris. It looks like it might be getting longer as well with Dick opening the first game with his Revolt Havoc first frame.
It looked like that one did get off his hand a little bit late. He got it up in the air a little bit more.
What do you think? He just squeezed a little bit, trying not to let the ball rub on that new thumb patch?
I just think a little tighter, maybe not quite dry yet. Who knows?
I think every now and again, despite contrary beliefs, we do throw a bad shot every now and again.
Could be.
Yeah.
Also said no one ever.
Yeah. Certainly no one's still bowling.
No.
I haven't missed all week.
Yeah.
We can't all be Craig, can we?
I hope not.
Despite best efforts.
So it looks like Fury is going with a different ball in each lane, as you mentioned, Chris.
And he's moved a little left again, I think. Yeah! We might have a ball game here.
Yeah.
This next shot is going to be the key, I think, though. Like, he's gone flush, and then he's got the one he got a little slower, and he tripped the 410. This move now.
He's still got to make moves on both lanes yet. You're not settled into just autopilot at this point.
No, I just
Still
feel
a little
like
uncertainty.
if he makes this good move now, he's going to have a feel-good factor of like, at least I know what I'm doing on that lane that I've been kind of struggling with. The worst thing that could possibly happen to him here is if he moves left and he
goes light.
and he doesn't get it. Well, I was thinking he doesn't get it far enough right, and it really goes through the nose because he's moved into the flatter part of the pattern. But he definitely got that one right. There we go. Joey Pants is back in the building. He was a little quiet that first game. Dick kept him in his seat.
Oh, gang tackle on. That's the head pin. Spin around down there and hit.
There he goes.
Left.
Oh, good shot. Richie never looks like he gets very flustered, does he?
No.
He's like, meh, oh hum.
You know, and originally when Mark picked him, that was kind of one of the things. He'd bowled in the 3-person championship players thing that year, and no matter how he was bowling, whenever it got to the end of the game, if he had a chance, the moment was never too big for him.
No,
he never shrunk from it. And
we were talking actually in the booth a little bit earlier about how Richie is very, he gets up in the approach and then he's gone. And I was saying how there aren't very many people in the Hall of Fame who take forever on the approach, yet it seems to have become a popular thing that people are taking a long time. And I don't really know, like, to me, when I was growing up, I was always trying to emulate, you know, the great players. Like, you'd watch them and you'd pick up on things that, you know, I would watch you and I'd watch Tommy and things, and you'd pick up on ideas of what they would do. And I don't really know why you would do something completely different from what all the guys who are winning do, because not even Belmo's not taking a long time, and EJ Tackett doesn't take a long time.
Actually, you know, in our group at Wichita State used to take quite a bit of time on the approach, and as I came out on tour and I started picking up on the same things, the best clutch players were not standing up there forever, and I felt like the longer I stayed up there, the worse it got. And so over time I pretty consistently tried to make that process quicker and quicker and quicker to make the decisions back behind and then get up and
I was about to say,
move.
When you stand there, from experience, it's not usually more positive thought to come in your mind. It's more of, I wonder how I could mess it up this time.
Yeah, voices in my head. I don't need to listen to any of those.
Yeah.
That's got to go.
Hello! Wowza.
Your Fury fans are in business.
Yeah, because
that should
we
loosen
both
the swing
said that's got to go,
up.
and that came back. Wow. I think that there's a really big spot there when he gets it there earlier. But the ones that have like been a little bit like that, he's got a couple of feet further down the lane, and then it's not wanting to come.
Yeah, the one that's 1 in or 2 in and long and
long right is how me and Callahan would describe it.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So
I don't think Dick's, but talking about how quick he is on the approach, I don't think he's going to be going too quick for these 2 shots.
No,
I think
John likes to play quick.
And I think the momentum's sort of going a little bit his way, and I think Dick's kind of like, we'll slow this down a little bit, you know. We'll just take our time.
Richie's got a lot of experience bowling action matches and different things, and so we're going to change the pace of play here a little bit.
Yeah, when things were going wrong for John early on, Richie wasn't
Didn't take very long.
He was like, let's get these frames going, let's get you in a mess.
Get the game over before you have time to sit and settle.
It doesn't seem like much, but you'll be surprised how quickly you can get a guy to bowl when he's not bowling very well, when he's not wanting to think about it. Like, when the red mist descends and you get a couple of quick frames going, you can make the match over pretty quickly.
Well, that 25 seconds feels like it's about 12 and a half anyway on TV, and so
yeah.
Here we don't have those issues, so John could still be slower if he'd want to be.
Yeah, I think Dick's going to be pointing to the crowd and telling them, come on, I'm your guy. I'm the Bayside Bowl guy. Why is it louder when he strikes?
Yeah.
Let's hear you, Bayside.
As we were talking about earlier, if Richie averaged 210, he'd still be the most favorite bowler in this place.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
And so this is like he is
I think he's
he
the only
belongs
one.
on one of the teams
I was
here
about to
in
say,
the league.
I think he's the only one who just happens to turn up here randomly and take
Yeah.
a picture and go, "Hey, I'm at Bayside Bowl."
Yeah, can I sub
Yeah,
tonight?
and they're like, "Sure."
Yeah.
Come on, John.
That's a long ways back for an early rolling ball.
That is not a good thing for Fury because they were the hits he was carrying consistently against Balmo and Frankie, and
I think he just, judging by his body language only,
didn't think that one was gonna go back.
I think he missed that one a little bit at the bottom. He got a little steep, came off a little quick.
but not the worst scenario. Make the spare, throw a strike on the left lane, put the ball back in Richie's court.
Yeah.
I mean, but like we were saying, slowed the match down a little bit. Maybe it just got John off rhythm a little bit. Maybe it didn't, but
The result was he's got a chance
the
now.
result was it wasn't a strike, and it was strikes before that. So I wouldn't be expecting Dick to be in a huge rush these next two shots either when he gets up.
My wife Linda watching.
Hi, Linda.
Good Barnes.
Hello.
That's good.
Oh,
Wow. That was one of the best ones.
That was kind of where he split the difference between his early one and the one that was long.
That was never in doubt of hitting the pocket. And
No, definitely.
And,
And once
Stuck
once
right
the
in
six
between.
pin went to the right, he was really never in doubt of hitting it either, which was a little unfortunate. Do you think, Chris? Do you think when we announced, we wrote on Facebook that we were going to be on here, our wives went, "Oh God, what are they going to say this time?"
A lot of people did.
Don't
my,
get you.
my wife's husband had that thought.
yeah, but we don't like him.
Oh, there's
Dick
a
Allen
difference
looking
in these.
for.
There's the difference in these short matches. His six pin had no right to hit that one, but it just got out the gutter just enough to knock it over.
Dick Allen here with a chance to get his 5th title. Won last year in Chesapeake, Virginia. And of course, likes the stage here at Bayside as he made the double show last year with Zeke Bate.
One of the things that may actually play in his favor. He seems pretty low key most of the time, but he can be animated. And I think with his back, he's not actually able to be very animated, keeping it even more low key.
Here he goes. Oh, he got the
Splashers.
double. So, if you're John Furey now, you desperately need a double. And if you're going to miss, you really need it to be this shot, not the next one. Because 257, still theoretically you got a bit of a chance.
I don't think he can miss again.
240, yeah.
I think 258 is probably what we're looking at as a.
Yeah. Well, let's see what he's got here. Looks good.
Nice shot.
Very nice
Tell
shot.
you what,
He's thrown some real. I said to them, he's played up to his competition in a lot of the matches.
well, yeah.
Like when, and that's the key in these things. Like you don't get any prizes for beating the guy you're playing by 100. You 1 and 100 is the same thing, and you saw that at the Masters last week. Shooting high scores wasn't the answer. Shooting high scores at the right time was the answer, and that's what John's done to a large extent in these matches. He's far from the highest average, but the last match he really showed up against Balmo, and now he's coming up with a good game here.
Go.
Oh. Yeah, I just don't
dead, but
I don't think he had as much confidence in that ball, like that bowling ball, like when he changed to it. I think that was his last resort, and I think we're seeing why now, because he threw the couple where it picked up earlier, and I think that was the reaction he needed to play. He just needed to find a way to smooth off the early.
Yeah.
And he's trying to use a later reaction, and that ball just doesn't look like what it wants to play, that late reaction.
You and I would have played the trip 4 and played the
and tried
rolled
to
it a little
just,
bit more to blend it,
and he's trying to play the more down lane reaction. It doesn't look like that ball wants to play that reaction, whereas his other ball does play that reaction, and that's why he's been using that pit bull bite.
Well,
But now
we
we've got
are
some
not
play.
done yet.
Now
John
we've
Furey
got
a
some
chance
play
to strike out for 248. Richie now has to make this spare and throw the first one in the 10th
to be in a tie
to guarantee that he doesn't get shut out.
Yeah.
Spare strike spare is 248. Max score for Furey 248.
Well, we got a bit of juice still left in this. I think the bowling world is wishing for a third game so you can hear more of the Williams and Barnes dog and pony show. I mean, Jeff looks like he is.
Can we make it a best of 57?
Whatever you want, Jeff.
With a roll off.
59.
59, okay. First to 29.
He's so good at math.
Got to be good at something. The accent will only get me so far. So here we go. Looks good. Oh, he four-pinned again.
Wow.
Juice. We've got juice now, Jeff. We've got juice.
He's a little surprised there, too.
I think both those, he didn't really give them any air. Like,
Tad short.
I don't think they were bad shots. I just think that, like, they were safe shots. And that's, I don't know. Put it this way, I don't think he's going to be keeping this one in. I think he's going to be sending this one.
So they go to the right a bit.
Yeah, because those last two, it looks like he's just been like, I don't really want to split. And I think the only way I can split is if I 210.
So the situation is that Furey will have to throw the first two strikes and then match whatever this shot is to win.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that this just shows how much, no matter the format, how much the titles mean to the players.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we can all agree that Dick's a pretty good clutch performer. And even he stayed a little bit safe, so to speak, on those two shots, because he's like, I've got myself in this position. I don't want to give it away. You know, if I get a spare on this one, it'll still be okay.
His MO is to be a little firmer and up and at him.
Yeah.
It's not anyway in that situation. It served him well over the years. But
on those two, it didn't look like he really wanted to, like, really get after it. But if you're sat on the bench, you're going to win this more times than you're going to lose.
He sought out this moment for a long time, a chance to get all three in the 10th for the win.
And
yeah. So there's the Bayside Bowl, giving it up for Dick Allen.
a great run by John. I tell you what, the odds before the tournament started of him bowling for the title were relatively long, and then to go up against the best player in the world and handle him.
Yep.
And for John to bounce back, I mean, he even said he had a rough Masters, really had a hard time accepting what happened. To come back, have a chance to win his first title, that's, you know, got to look good for his 2018 future, you would expect.
Take some stones when you have one that really get kicked in the teeth to come and bowl a really short format, and you know you're going to catch one of the top players, and lots of people just go home after those ugly weeks.
Dick Allen wins title number 5. He picks up a win here at Bayside. We will have an interview with Kirk Von Kruger and Dick Allen. Chris Barnes, Stu Williams, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, as always. Good luck in your Elias Cup ventures starting Friday.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
And there's our champion, Dick Allen.
I think we can agree the real winner today was bowling, though.
Absolutely, it always is.
exciting match was Dick Allen, 247 John Furey, 235. Please give it up one more time for John Furey. It's my honor to present the 2018 Port Management Property PBA Xtra Frame Maine Shootout Champion, Dick Allen!
Excuse me, guys.
All right, I see you have the hardware in hand there. It's a beautiful trophy. Weighs about 20 pounds. It is. On behalf of Port Property Management, our Xtra Frame crew, the Professional Bowlers Association, and all the people in Portland, and right here at Bayside Bowl, the great staff and management here, it's my pleasure to present this check for $10,000. All right, man, you bowled great all day long. What were you thinking in this final match?
The same thing I was thinking all week. Just try not to get hurt. You know, I mean, I hurt myself last week and wasn't able to compete. So I was just taking it gingerly, and man, lo and behold, good things happen. Less is more, right?
Less is always more. Did you have anybody last-minute people you wanted to thank?
I mean, Motive, Genesis, Vice. I mean, all three of those companies make the best equipment out there, and I couldn't ask you guys for any more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dick. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion.
Congratulations, Dick Allen, title number 5.